Wow. I don't know. How you doing, Buster? Let me show you the fruits of my... Was it last week? Doesn't look that weird, huh? Something's not right. I have a feeling everything's just moving 16 times faster than it should. This is not as bad as it was. When I was working on this originally, every tile was, I think, spaced about as much as those two bushes were on screen. Do you see these two? So at least I've got the tiles rendering together. That's a good start. Hey Lemon, how are you? Let's do some programming. Have you adjusted the player speed and stuff at all? Nope. That was going to be my next thing to start on, but I was so fucking done. So let me have a look. I'm sick. Glad you're asking. Damn. I hope you're feeling better soon, Lemon. Yeah, you sent me some examples. I remember saying that we should... If we use this new coordinate system of 16s or tile size as opposed to 1, then it allows us to do movements in like meters a second, for example. If we say that one tile size is 1 meter, so the player's speed should be adjusted appropriately. My guess right now is they're moving 1 pixel per whatever they were doing before, but that's now multiplied by 16, where, you know, it's exponentially faster than it was. Let's have a look. Any recommended code for beginners? What do you want to do? Python's always a good place to start. There's a lot of tutorials on it. You can do it in your browser. Linearly fast. It's linearly faster if it's literally just multiplied by 16. But it's a lot faster than intended. There's only 2 data points, 1 and 16, you know. That could be exponential. Or does maths actually say you have to have at least 3 data points for exponential? 1, 2, 4, whatever. I guess if it's just 1 to 16. Whatever, you know what I mean. Anyway. Let me think. It's something like movement system, right? So for every entity with movement, I don't know how many entities there are. Movement input is actually just player. I think. So we can start there. Yeah. Let's have a look. Speed is length velocity. What does length do? I have no idea. What is length? Returns the length of x. Square root x times x. Okay. I don't remember the significance of the maths behind some of this, so you'll have to give me a minute. Alright. So here we're calculating force based on input, which I think is just a vector. Like up, down, left, right, whatever. Here's the linear velocity stuff, yeah. This doesn't seem to be being used in here. So I guess this movement system is more like applying force. Yeah. 0, 0 doesn't need to be changed. I have a feeling that this is more like pointing the player in the right direction. We've got the force here, which is the input multiplied by speed, which gives us a direction at a rate by force. multiplies that a bit more. And movement modifier is if you're focusing, you move a bit slower. Friction force is the negative of velocity multiplied by force, yeah. Pretty simplified, but added speed and subtracted speed. I think this isn't what we want. Movement.desired speed is probably what you want to change. I think you're right. It's not in here though, right? This is just being calculated, it's not being applied. I discovered something new the other day, Control T. Have you been using this to search for tokens? I guess. Yeah, not useful here, I guess, but it's kind of cool. It is. Oh, I guess it's being used in the force calculation. I thought desired speed was being set. You didn't know about that. It's really nice. It's the same as just using a hash, but it lets you search. I guess it's a symbol. So if I wanted to search for linear velocity, and I put a hash at the start, it's the same thing. Really handy. But yeah, what's the advantage over Control-Shift-F? If I look for desired speed with Control-Shift-F, it shows me everywhere that it's found in like a search, whereas this just looks for the symbol. So this is a symbol as the linter would discover it. For example, desired speed, or if I just look for player, we find the player component. It's different. There's usages for it. It's especially useful if you want to find. You might have like a name that's being used everywhere. I think this view is a little easier to tell apart different symbols with the same name. So if we had something called like X, it's a little easier to look through maybe. As long as ClangD is working. Eh? First time looking at code, your head was spinning. Depends what sort of code you're looking at. Syntax is the easiest part of computer science. The hard part is architecturing something half decent. And that's an art form. That's difficult. Can't say I'm there yet. Alright. I wanted to know desired speed, right? So we apply that in here. Oh. I mean, I guess we could just start off with a lower desired speed. I thought we might have to change the calculation, but this... Other than movement multiplier, this all looks just like typical maths. So I guess we just want to change the desired speed as it goes in. I thought maybe we had to change the multiplications a bit. Like add in tile size, but I think that's a bit janky. I suppose. I just have to treat the input as already being in meters a second, I guess, which is in like some config file or what? We had like some, what, JSON or YAML character? Probably in here, right? Let's look at dither. Her movement speed is 192 miles an hour. Kilometers an hour, whatever. I don't think we've come up with something. Tiles an hour. Let's divide that by 16. Is there a calculator built into VS Code? I've never thought about it. No. That would actually be a pretty sick little plugin. It's like a little calculator on this side. That's fun. I just want like a little guy on this side. Whatever, I'll just use the Windows one. It's just a little easier to because of the way the Windows set up the stream capture. I might even have a calculator thing on my keyboard. I don't know. Oh, chat, you didn't tell me the HDR's all fucked up for the screen capture. It's all washed out. You didn't notice? Oh, it just happened. Oh. Hang on. What if I restart the render? Reloading the window works. So wait, is it opening up that guy's extension? Yeah, opening up the extensions page seems to fuck it. Why on earth is that? The renderer they're using for like icons or something. That's really weird. Whatever. 192 divided by 16 is 12. So she moves at 12 kilometers an hour, which is... yeah, sounds about right, maybe, if that's correct. I don't know if movement force and mass need to be adjusted, if this is 50 kilograms or 50 trillion. This looks a little better. She's indeed moving at a more reasonable pace, I'd say. But she is like... she's not being rendered properly. Maybe some random extension icon went outside the LDR range. It's very possible. They might just allow arbitrary things. Okay, I think the calculation we're using for the edge of chunks is off as well. I suspect it's off by quite a lot, actually. This song isn't loading. YouTube has been really fucked up the last, like, year. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, the chunk calculator is, like, way fucking off. That'd be a good thing to fix next. Oh yeah, by the way, your calculation for aiming at the mouse is good. This is working perfectly fine. Although the hitbox is way fucking off. Whatever renderer I'm using to draw that, these debug symbols is way off. Anyway. Movement speed. Let's also make you 12. That's fine. Interesting that the bullet velocity hasn't been messed with too much. Okay, let me double check our messages together. We're talking about Godbolt. Sweden. Collision detection. I want to go way beyond this. Here we go. You said players max. You were calculating it as. You had a const expr float for miles an hour, and you said the player's max speed is 10 multiplied by miles an hour. That's fun. I'll keep it abstract for now. I think it's fine to just say 12. Let's not overcomplicate things for now. This was a second also makes sense. That's basically what we've done, I guess. You're talking about collision stuff. Not to tell, yeah, okay. I don't think we had much more combos. You want to scale the movement force as well? I think so. I'm a little... I feel a little slower than usual. Is that correct? Do I want to divide this by 16 as well? 2. How does this work? 140. Oh god. She has some crazy stuff. I don't think 16 was correct, unless I typed that in wrong. No, she needs a little higher. She's like she's on ice. I guess maybe the force was so high before it was like instant. This is janky. We need to fix this, I don't know how well it shows up on stream. Maybe it doesn't, but the rendering is like jiggling constantly. It's really hard. Can you see it like vibrating as I move to the down and look to the left? Or here? It's almost like she's aliased. Like it's just not rendering properly. It's like she's not pixel perfect, I think. She's on a sub-pixel movement. I'd note around her coordinates again. Somewhere. Maybe in draw render actor. Perhaps the XY I'm using needs to be rounded. Got this get position on screen function. This is returning a floor. This should already be... That should be fine, I'd have thought. The background is pixel perfect now, which I think it wasn't before. Oh, hang on, let's try and fix the chunking thing first. That's really annoying me. Render background system. This is menu background. Let's have a look. Let's check this maths together. I modified draw 2D world to pass in the camera world 2D offset, so we could double check this is correct. You might prefer it being smoother. The background I wasn't focusing on, it's the player movement that is off. It's rendering her in like 2 positions at once. Let's focus on this chunk thing quickly. I think it's possible that the offset is just off. Like this calculation might not work anymore. Let's have a look. I'm just going to assume a lot. Actually, I shouldn't assume. What's going on in here? So previously, yeah, this is when I didn't have this. Oh, sorry, when I had this in place, all the tiles were spaced out. So I removed that multiply by 16 here to get the tile position on screen, because inside this function itself, we're already dealing with tile position. Tile size, I should say. I have a feeling that this offset is wrong, so let's have a look at, I guess, System Manager. In here. So these aren't being used. Great. Sorry. Just for now, I was trying to update the camera just in here. This is what we were doing before, so I was just feature matching. We're just grabbing the player from the registry, grabbing the player position, and using that to update the view center of local player. Did the job fine. I think. So we apply in here. We had this local player struct, right? Let me think for a moment. Yeah. So every frame, we're updating the view center. This is just the player's coordinate. You'll want to make sure that happens before any drawing. Okay. Currently it's happening in update. It should be step update draw or something. I guess it's just update. Update tick draw. Should it be tick update draw in that order? No, update tick draw, because update happens as frequently as possible. Tick happens once every 64th of a second or whatever, and then draw every arbitrary whatever. Should be fine in update, I think. Although, yeah, something to think about. Is it first of all correct that the view center is just the player's coordinates? Oh, did my stream die? You still there, chat? Just got a... pretty much, yeah. Okay, so currently the local player struct has the view center. It's just the player's coordinates. It's not scaled or multiplied, or nothing's done with it immediately. When resize occurs, so start the game, you change the window, whatever, for convenience, yeah, that's fine. We store the viewport and the camera. Offset is nothing. What is offset in this case? Is it where within a window it might be offset? We'll create orthographic. Oh. Doesn't give me a detailed look at orthographic options. Fine. Target position, none of this stuff I think massively matters. I think this is just correct, right? Does anything jump out? Size is screen size. This isn't being scaled by anything. Maybe. Although I think the camera looked correct. If you control click... Yeah, I know. I just didn't want to go too deep. Offset, bottom left corner for orthographic projection. Yeah, fine. Get tile position on screen. So I have two functions here. I had one that wasn't scaled by tile size and one that is. Do you think I shouldn't need this get position on screen function for any reason? Because I had a feeling that I route this to draw the player. Does that stick out to you? Because currently, or at least 2D actors, this isn't necessarily the player, I guess. Any sprite, any entity with a sprite and a transform is being drawn this way. It's currently using this get position on screen function that isn't multiplied by tile size. Does this seem off, maybe? Because if I use get tile position on screen, we can have a look and see what it looks like. I think it's incorrect. This was a week ago though, mind you. I don't really remember. Oh no, actually it looks the same somehow. That's strange. Oh no, wait, that's correct. Because now the bullets are like firing out like 1 trillion miles an hour. Do you see this? That's not correct. I think we don't need to multiply that by 16. I think this was correct. But then maybe that means that we need to change the bullet velocities and everything to deal with this file size. Bullet speeds aren't updated. Yeah, I think that's it. So it's interesting that I worked to the same conclusion as we just did with the player movement, where instead of dividing something by 16, here I realized that I didn't want to multiply something by 16. It's the same effect, I guess. I have a feeling we might be able to get rid of this then. And then we just deal with bullet speeds. So let's have a look. We have our like weapons.json maybe, or is that just character? Weapon shot speed. So I'm guessing shot speed needs to be divided by 16 as well. Maybe the player's mass is still too high, by the way. Too low. I don't know. 200 divided by 16 is impossible. 12.5. Weapon shot speed 150 divided by 16. Oops. 9.3. Is that an int or a float? I might have designed this to be an int, so I don't actually know how this is going to look. 50? And that's slow. That can't be right. 3? 3 miles an hour. Oh yeah, now her bullets are normal. Yeah, look at them down here. We're getting a fucking... I guess this... Whatever this debug HUD is using is incorrect, so let's have a look. Render the HUD system. So... the debug overlay... Oh, this isn't it. It's this bit. This isn't using, this is just doing transform.position. This isn't using that get position on screen thing, I suppose. Let's grab the local player. And then let's use this. Alright, perfect. So everyone's synced up now, but yeah, the chunk borders are still off, clearly. Get tile position on screen a misnomer. It is. I renamed it specifically to make it stick out, so we can have a look at that in a moment. It looks like the world map behind is it's not moving at the speed it should. Do you see this? It's way out of sync. I think that needs to be moving a lot faster. Okay, yeah, we can just quickly refactor that. So we want to go to render background system. Here we go. So we have this 2D background being drawn here. Is that it? Maybe not. I think it's this. So the offset is not being scaled properly. Whatever I'm passing into World 2D offset and 2D size here needs to be changed. Do you think the rename went through? Really? Why not? Oh. Oh, for fuck's sake. I love my Notepad++. Very good. Alright. Let's have a look. Here, in Draw 2D World, we're basing the offset on the world offset and the size. It loves to not work for a random reason. It fucking sucks. Systems Manager, and then suppose it's in Draw. Display. Here we go. So we're passing in the player's view, the player's position and the screen size. I have a feeling these aren't scaled appropriately for what we're expecting here. Specifically, Draw 2D background. Now, why is this off so much? This is what we're drawing in here. It's getting the player's position and the size of the screen. Screen size isn't being multiplied by... Those are, yeah, they are in. You're correct. But this isn't being scaled by anything, so I'm wondering if it's moving around as if we were at 1x multiplier. A very small screen. Actually 320 by 240 as opposed to what it should be. But now let's grab the local player, because yeah, you're right, we'll need to grab that. We'll also pass that in as a parameter instead of getting it from the registry every call. We'll see how we're feeling. I think we'll probably want it. We'll see. If we just change this, here we go. So we were dividing it by the background get size 2D. Anything from the registry is fine. Okay. I guess we only have one. It's one unordered map lookup. Not the end of the world. The offset is... View center? Yes. And then scale is just, I think, called scale, right? View zoom scale, maybe? Now, is this division correct? It's one per system, not once per object. That's true. Oh, dude, they're just playing good music. Alright, that's not quite right. That's a little off. Maybe view zoom scale isn't correct. This is just one. I think we actually want new scale, which isn't being stored. Tell me, what is view zoom scale in your mind? Is this if I want to zoom in for, like, it's a user parameter, right? So it's similar to, like, if you wanted to literally zoom in, like a magnifier, right? So that should be 1 most of the time, I imagine, right? Yeah. So I just need to store this. I guess I can store that separately. Let's just call it camera scale for now. View scale, maybe. Let's just call it camera scale for now, because that's what this is. Hey, Gonzalo. That should help. Alright, I mean, that's a little closer to reality, but I'd still say it's about 1 trillion times bigger than it should be. Also interesting that it's not drawing the pixels as square. The project's a game, that's correct, Gonzalo. It's a bullet hell, as you can tell. We recently changed a lot of things to do with coordinates, which, as you can tell, have consequences. Alright. Camera scale... Is that correct for texture scale? What were you before? Camera 2D size. Texture scale. I don't know if this is correct here. Am I able to reuse the local player functions here? You mean just get player position with the texture offset? We can try that. That can't be right. That seems a little sketch. Right? I must be misunderstanding this. What you were asking. I just wanted it to scale with the player's movement, the offset, and previously we were just using the set screen center. But now everything's being multiplied by tile size. The game is to Godot. Oh, nice. We like to see Godot users. What are you building? Fuck. Wow. Let me have a think for a moment. Oh wait, this isn't triple caramelly. This is triple Lefort. I've been tricked. See this? You guys ever drink 2 Fort beer? What percent is this? 8.8%, damn. Learn to Ninja Frog. What does that mean? What are you up to? You're learning how to make a Ninja Frog game? Something like that? But now, let's not worry so much about this. This texture offset might be correct. I think the scale might be off. Oh, hello, WTFRE. Long time silent beta series watcher. I trust you then. That's a good way to start. You're new to coding and you learned React and front end to find it boring. What field could you get into for junior positions? What? You say that you're finding React and front end boring. Is there any part about it in particular? I mean, there's the rest of the industry. What do you like about front end and React? Have you considered app development, huh? That's a classic. I did that for quite a while. Especially if you like React for its cross-platform nature, you could pick up some Kotlin multi-platform and develop apps that work on iOS and Android. Not passionate about it, but when you think what project to make, your mind is empty. Is it because it's a creative role? Do you not enjoy bringing like new ideas to life? Would you much rather work on like a sort of mathematical machine, something where you pull tickets and you develop a product that's been well designed before? You like more math stuffs and logics? Do you have any interest in microprocessors? Because you could get into embedded. You could work on low-level programming, although it's a lot different to React. Low-level programming, quite difficult. But if you like maths, maybe that's the key for you. There's not as many interesting programming jobs in 2025 as there were in like 1980. Like a lot of maths and logics stuff has been solved. If you like algorithms, for example, it's very hard to find a job doing that. A lot of computer science jobs are like making websites, making apps, making a website. There's a lot of web dev jobs, huh? You could do database engineering, but that's a different sort of job. SQL is its own beast. You know some C and C++ from your operating systems class. Did you enjoy it? That's what we were doing here. We're doing C++. Do you like thinking about memory management and pointers and maybe the heap? Thinking about optimizing a piece of code to run on a small system with restrictions rather than just infinite memory. Maybe you're working on like a small chip. Maybe you could look into embedded, although I don't know what junior positions are like for that. If you're in and around university age, maybe you could find like a course for it, or like a small entry-level job where they could teach you. You love it and you love business stuff. You're not from USA. The quant is out of the picture. You're looking to embedded. Just have a look. It's a thing that you can get into quite cheaply as a hobby, like, all things considered. If you've ever been interested in like a Raspberry Pi or a Nucleo, there's a whole world out there of tiny little systems on a chip, and just mess around with them. If you feel like it's interesting, that there's an industry out there who needs embedded developers. How did Draw 2D background look like before? I learned about this. Here we go. So previously, do you mean this? Previously we were doing the world 2D offset and the world 2D size. The value for world 2D size in here. Oh yeah, here we go, sorry. Everything was being divided by the background. So I don't actually know if this view center thing is correct. Yeah, my recommendation, WTFRE. See if you can get a cheap old Raspberry Pi. It doesn't have to be fancy. They can be €5. They can be really cheap. And just mess around with it. Try and set up an interrupt, a hardware interrupt, to listen for a button press, or plug in like a temperature sensor that you got off eBay and read the temperature of the air, and just mess around. It's quite difficult. So if you're able to pick it up, then you're golden. And if not, if you want something a little easier, mobile development sort of scratches that itch where you have to think about performance, but not quite as much. Kotlin and Swift are a lot easier to write, I think, than C++. Biased. I'm quite biased on that. Get target position. Ooh, okay, we'll have a look. That will be in components. So we got this here. Go look into it as well. Yeah, have fun out there. See if your university... I'm assuming you're at uni, if not. Sorry. If your uni or school has clubs, there might be a club or like an activity you could join in to get interested. It depends where you are in your life, I guess. You could also do game dev, but it's a bad industry. It's a very saturated industry, game development. It's very hard to find jobs. Very, very hard. So I would recommend it as a hobby, but only as a job if you're... Yeah. Thinking of getting masters, do you think that's overkill? It's not overkill. Do you enjoy academics? There's nothing wrong with a master's degree. It's cheap and 1 year in your country. Yeah, why not? It definitely sets you apart, especially if you ever consider traveling abroad. Master's degrees are pretty good on your CV. It's another thing to do. I didn't do a master's. I just wanted to start work as soon as possible, and I was sick of university. I couldn't handle like another 2 years or whatever, and it was really expensive in the UK, I think. Was it really? It was a bit more. I didn't have the money for it either. But if you're able to do it, why not? If you want to. Hi, Bowser. Sorry, I'm distracted. What are we doing? View offset. Let's have a look. Now, what is view size in this calculation? This. You assume scale. Well, local player. Am I winning? That's a great question. I guess we can just try view offset here. I don't know if it needs to be divided or not. It's hard to tell if your position is correct. I don't think it should be divided. I kind of agree. I don't really remember why we do the division. I think it's... Why did we do the division? I really don't remember. Oh god. That's bad. Alright, maybe the scale should be... If I divide this by not tile size, again, it's curiosity. No, that's wait, dividing is multiplying it. Now, why is that? Tile size is 16. Why did dividing you by 16 do that? I guess it's bid mass, isn't it? Oh, actually, we're getting somewhere. It definitely needs to be smaller. Texture scale might be view size divided by get size 2D. I think you might be right. This lad. Yeah, screen size divided by the zoom scale. So this is just going to be the screen size. Because zoom scale should be 1. Hey, good idea. I think the offset is way off though. I'd say it's possibly exponential. It feels like it's moving a lot faster than 16 times. So what's going on here? Maybe I need to... It's trippy, I'm sorry. Is this bitmass correct? You want this and this? You might have to retype calculus. You reckon? I mean, it's really hard to tell on this screen. How fast do you think these trees are moving? You keep calling stuff exponential. It's a colloquialism, I'll stop. It's moving very quick, isn't it? How quick do you think this is? Can you estimate for me? It feels more than 16 times. It's hard to tell. About Tree Fiddy. You need to retake South Park, dude. Anyway. The scale was correct, but the offset was off, right? I guess we could try dividing it by tile size again. So if we remove tile size from this calculation, maybe? Ah, that was it. Almost. It's vibing. So offset wise, hey, it's a classic donut. It seems to be about half a tile size off. Why did that work? What do you mean, why did that work? Hang on. Let me fix this now, by the way. You mentioned the other day you couldn't see the code while I was showing the screen, right? Let's just do this. What's on the right usually doesn't matter quite as much. Hang on. Transform set. There we go. There we go. So previously this was being multiplied by tile size. I had a look at your calculation on for the world coordinates. I saw that you were dividing it by tile size. So I was like, we can divide this by tile size. What's the point? Remove it from here. Here. That's screen size, not tile size. I don't know why it worked. Random chance. Why is it off by 0.5 again though? That's my fucking annoyance. View center is in tiles. View size divided by 0.5 is certainly not. The screen is divisible by 16, so it might just be pure random lag. I want to currently know why everything looks like it's jorking it. You see this? Oh, you can't see when I go full screen anymore. Hang on. That's why I had to do this. That works. Can you see that this is like jerky? It's like vibing. I think the calculation for get position on screen is off by some amount. Yeah, when I go horizontally, it's actually not so bad. You see the after image on the player? It's like jerking around. Let's have a look. How did we fix this 0.5 issue last time? Do you remember? Is it because we divided it by... Actually, how did we fix that? Because the player's position is halfway. can only fix the jerkiness once the rest is correct. Yeah, why does this work? Hang on, let's look at the maths we're doing here. We're taking the screen size, so it's 320 by 240. The offset is the player's position minus view size halved. So half of view size is 160 by 120 or whatever. So we're saying the view center minus that. That's giving us a position. Do we still need to do this, actually? Just a question. Because this is just minusing half of the screen width. Yeah, that doesn't matter, I think. Really. It's just offsetting the background by a bit. View center is in tiles though, that can't be right. View center is the player's position. Is it in tiles? Multiplication by tile size would have to be there. Yeah? In this. The one you just deleted. Cool. Oh, and that's just the offset. That just moves it around. Hang on. Did I didn't move it from offset, did I? I moved it from size. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I can move it where this multiplied by tile size thing is. Hang on. What did I just do? Yeah, that's not right. An error occurred. Please try again later. Hang on, I just fucked this. YouTube is getting messed up. 36 minutes in, chat. Remember that. Alright. Oh, we're still drawing the size as Camera World 2D size. Oh no, wait, hang on. Maybe I just hadn't put that in yet. I just did that classic Control Z issue. Hang on, I've really fucked this up. Let me take my jumper off. Give me just a second. What were we doing? I should be screen size. Yes, that's the size of the rectangle we're drawing, right? That makes sense to me. Which is this. This is view size. Which is screen size. We don't care about the zoom for that, I guess. Okay, that shouldn't change anything, I think. Or does it? I'm pretty sure that's meant to be 1. Yeah. Alright, the scale's off again. What did I do? I wanted to divide this by tile size, I guess. Question mark? That's not it. That's not it. Multiply it by time size, I guess. Wow, this must have been what I did before. That's not it either. What did I do? This was looking okay earlier. What did I do? Calculate texture scale, like... View size... Oh, is this view size? That was it. And divide view offset by that. Okay, hang on a minute. I guess tile size doesn't need to come in here. View offset divided by texture scale. Might also be multiply, I don't know. It's difficult because I don't know where in this calculation this should be going. There's a minus here, which changes things. I'm guessing it would be this first part. Oh, that's crazy. Put it in texture offset equals. Oh, you want the whole output. Right. I don't think it's multiply. Okay. We're back to the scale being correct, but the view is happening faster. A lot faster. Oh, we can try divide. Yeah. Dude, what the fuck is up with Zun? Why is he such a good musician? Why are all these songs so good? Oh, oh, oh! Hang on, hang on. The background doesn't work for this. Okay, it's scaling a little faster than the level, or the level isn't scaling at the right speed. You see this? It doesn't quite line up. But maybe it's correct and the level's incorrect? It's hard to tell. If I just move as the player through the trees, it's impossible to tell. Should we maybe just double check that the actual rest of the background is being rendered properly? It's possible the tiles are moving incorrectly. Or not. Sorry, I need to fix this player's wobbliness. Force needs to just be like 500 or something. I want near instant acceleration. That feels alright. I'd kind of like to fix this chunking thing. This is concerning me a bit. Maybe I can use this calculation as a thought. Actually, is that in this? That's in this same place, isn't it? Draw 2D world. The bottom left is currently being calculated as such. I think we should get rid of these parameters, by the way. I'm going to do that now because it's causing confusion. So fun. Alright, and now we're gonna have to clean up a few signatures. Perfect. So there should only be a handful of places still using this. This will be yeah, stuff like this. Fizz. I know this was always wrong. Am I losing it? This was always wrong. That's crazy. Let's just start doing some cleanup while we're at it. We have Git after all. Crazy how sometimes this stuff goes. Alright. Let's cut out some of these comments. The cameras isn't being used. Maybe we want to actually force this quickly for every draw, just to ensure it's up to date. Just pop that here. Camera world 2D size, I suppose, is this. That's not it. Actually, hang on. We should probably, if we work this out, we'll probably be reusing this in a few places. The bottom left is probably the offset. Lord. That really correct? It's the top right? Yeah, it's the offset plus, I guess, the room size. I don't know about this divided by tile size thing. They're not being used. You don't exist. You're not needed. The divide by tile size definitely used to that because view size and code are in pixels. Oh yeah. Oh, actually, hang on. Oh, it's slow. Alright, some calculation being done in here sucks. Let's check this stuff. View size and view offset are in pixels. Divide by tile size needs to be there. Drawing area is huge because it isn't divided by tile size. This bit. How were we doing this before? Just like this. And then you're just in brackets. Oh, it's just the offset, actually, yeah. Okay, that's way better. Hang on, that might have fixed it. Okay, we now need to solve this background scaling issue and this drawing issue. I hope it's visible on stream, by the way, the like vibration. There's already in double brackets. We have double brackets. Oh, you're certainly not needed. We don't have a warning for that, huh? I thought there was a Clang warning for that. Jerkiness is visible. Okay, good. I'm gonna go to the loo quickly. I'll be back in a minute. I think this is a mute button, right? Hang on. I want to see if this works. It's the new mixer. I've never tried the mute button. I'm music. I'm muted. I'm music. It's me, music. Hi. Hi. 6 nested for loops. Yes. How would you like to iterate through the chunk and the tiles? Go. Give us the data type. I'd love to see it. To my knowledge, they're also like next to each other in memory, so it's on. Okay. What's up with this jerkiness then? I need to go full screen. I think you guys can. You said you could see this, right? I mean, the background's also being moved faster than the tiles. We should fix that. Standard outer product. I don't want to play product. Let's play Badwater. So do you think it's just, let me think. It's like an after image. It's so strange. I don't know how it's rendering on stream, but on my screen it's like some Naruto after image thing. Like you're running really quickly and there's a transparent overlay. It's not as visible on these bullets actually. Actually, I think the bullets do actually have a little wobble, but it's harder to tell. Hey, Smile, it's Koth Product Week right now. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's have a look. Maybe get position on screen isn't doing quite what we want. It's doing a floor. Could it be doing a floor around? Get position on screen should return exactly screen center every time you give it a position equal to view center. I guess we could print it off and just have a look, right? Render HUD. Hello, Sammy. So in here we had this. Oh, we can just redraw it. It's fine. So you got the player's view center. We can also do const auto pause on screen equals local player. Get position on screen, and then the local player's own center, and then a 0, and then we can just draw this. Oh, whoops. Pop this at 55. I don't know. What am I making? We're making a bullet hell game, but we've recently changed the coordinate system for the game quite heavily. So you can tell all this jerkiness and stuff isn't drawing quite correctly. So we're trying to fix that. It was meant to be it's a bullet hell game. You shoot stuff. Probably what's happening is you're drawing the player with an outdated or too new position. That's possible. ViewCenter.x and ViewCenter.y is not the same thing as ViewCenter. This doesn't seem to be. It's off by half a screen size. I mean, this looks correct to me. The view center part. That's not terribly useful, I guess. I think the get position on screen is working fine. It's related to what you warned earlier about updating the view center before doing any drawing. You don't want to? I thought we do want to update it before drawing. Suppose we can try doing it in display as well. Oh, hang on, that fixed it. I guess I forgot to add that in. Yeah, this looks perfect now, right? It's a little... Is it a little wobbly? I can't tell. The background might be a little wobbly. The player's smooth. That's good. But the background looks a little off. Well, this background actually looks perfectly fine, but the tiles look a little wobbly, I should say. Maybe it's just my vision, though. The background snaps to pixels thanks to floor. Yeah, you're right. So I guess it's just moving at an irregular step. Well, it's a regular step, but it's, you know, stepped, I guess. Alright, like you said earlier. Oh, what did you say earlier? The jerkiness is visible. If only we had standard outer product. Oh, is that sarcasm? We should use standard outer product instead of floor? Or were you being sarcastic? I couldn't tell. Long time ago. You're gonna have to be specific then, I'm afraid. Standard outer product doesn't exist. Okay. I don't see it. Was it in Twitch? Background is pixel perfect now, which it shouldn't have been before. You'll want to make sure that happens before any drawing. The background is pixel perfect, which it wasn't before. You probably preferred it smoother. Yeah, I did prefer it smoother. I can just get rid of the floor, I suppose. But then it will blend, right? It will blur. Question mark. Is it this? No, this is the offset. That's not it. What's puzzling me is why the real background is moving a little off. Is it this 0.5? No. You know what I mean? Whoops. She's slow. The background doesn't quite line, like the actual trees, this stuff here doesn't line up with the tiles. The background scale, no, the scale's correct because it lines up perfectly with the world. But what is it off with? Yeah, I don't like the pixel snappiness of everything. It's a bit too retro for me. How didn't we run into this issue before? It's the exact same render resolution as before. Just remove floor from get position on screen. We can try it. Will that not cause things to do sub-pixel rendering and look a bit shit? Or were we already doing that before and I just not paid attention? That's what you were doing before. I suppose it's fine then. I kind of liked how it looked before. Oh yeah, this is way better. Yeah, it is like a little blurry actually. But maybe that's just because it's rendering so quick. Something's off. Like the background looks not smooth to my eyes, but that could just... Hang on. Did I just see the vertical lines? I might be losing it. I see them, they're back. It's because we're not flooring, I guess. They're back. Fucking vertical lines. Instead of floor, why not round? Would that cause things to look even worse? Yeah, the vertical lines are back. Rather than be smoother, it would just round incorrectly. I want to see how it looks. I'm just curious. Yeah, it looks about the same, yeah. It's like even jerky, it may be. Alright, fine. But if we have floor, I guess we never have the vertical line problem. That's my guess at least. But it is super jerky. I think I dramatically prefer with no floor. But I don't really know how else we're meant to solve that snapping issue, or that vertical line issue. Could I maybe only floor part of it? No. The input. Maybe if I floor position. Because that doesn't really solve much. I can floor it either side, I don't know if it matters. Oh wow! Dude! Hang on, this is a great idea for like a spell card or something. Look at that. Wow. It still has the vertical lines. All right, whatever. That looked cool. You don't know how your code works, but you got the same issue in yours. In your game, it was the for loop that updated the tiles' position. Tiles aren't moving though. It's the screen that's moving. This code here is converting from like a piece of map data. So the tile might be at position 1010. It's converting that to a place on screen. So that would be this function here. More efficient. Well, I'm gonna leave that for a moment. So hello, Raphael. I'm going to try to solve this background scaling issue, where it's moving faster than it should. How can I do that? Let's look at this. I think it's maybe the offset. Is it because we're using tile size? A view offset? We're currently taking the view center, multiplying it by 16, and then taking off half the view size. Maybe we can change where we put this. If we put that around everything, maybe. Well, that did fucking nothing. that did not change a thing. I guess I could try dividing. If in doubt, turn the thing upside down. Oh, wow. That stops it from moving entirely. That's frightening. Actually, it does move. It just moves very slowly. That's fun. Okay. I can't get rid of it. That was a problem. It's currently view center is not in tiles. What was it? Something like that? Yeah, it definitely needs something like that. What did we have before? Maybe that's worth looking at again. One way to do it would be to render a giant texture like the background and then have a custom pixel shader to draw the correct tile from the sprite atlas using the raw trial data. That's true. It's kind of how the... I don't know how the Game Boy renders it. Not really. But like you basically pass everything off to some other processor to turn all those tile IDs into... It's not tries either, pixels, I guess. Raster. It sounds quite complicated, but maybe that is a good solution. Then you wouldn't have gaps. Are you sure? I find it particularly odd that it's not like a gap in like one line, it's a gap across the whole screen, many lines. like lose a pixel. I guess that's just how floor works. What do we have here, though? I wanted to fix this scrolling issue on the background. The offset used to be specifically divided by the background size. Why? View size. Why is texture scale done this way now? The texture scale is like 320 divided by the width of the texture. I guess often that would just be 1 by 1, assuming the texture is the same size as the screen, which it's not. The texture is like 16 by 16 or something. Yeah, that's regarding the gap. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a floating point error. Are you render and moving all the tiles at once? Kind of. So we have a camera, right? In here, for example. This is the systems manager. So every time we call display, which is once every whatever of a second, quite often, we update what the camera is, and the camera central position is specifically where the player is located at. We've updated that, and then we tell all these other systems to draw the background, the world, the actors, the overlay, the HUD, using that local player. Actually, I guess we could change this viewport camera thing into just passing in the local player. That would be a nice optimization to do. No, we can't do that. This isn't my function. Never mind. Okay, and then in the render, so let's look at, for example, render background. Well, we're drawing this tiled tree behind the actual level. We are getting the player's position, so the center of the screen. We're calculating the size that we're going to fill with a rectangle as being the entire screen. The scale of this tree is calculated based off the size of the screen and the texture size. So in this case, the screen is 16 by, or the texture is 16 by 16. The screen is huge. Quite a small number here, I should think. Scale is then that divided. No, that's not, sorry. The offset is calculated as the. There's crazy music to listen to while explaining this. The center of the screen multiplied by 16, which is the size of tiles, which seems odd. And then we're taking off half the screen, so we're getting the center of the screen. I'm still not sure about this tile size thing being in the right place. And the issue we're trying to solve here is that when you move around, teammate build. Oh, hang on, there's errors. Oh, I just added a 6. As we move around, we find that the level, which is rendered down here underneath, doesn't quite match up with the background. This level are all these tiles, these randomly generated things, and then this scrolling background is this thing. So I'm wondering why this is being rendered differently to this. I guess we can just compare how we're calculating where they go. I split this to the right. The left, these are the trees in the background. The right, these are the tiles. Using the exact same calculation for size and offset. I should hope the texture scale is 1 by 1. I guess I could check. Oh, texture scale is actually 20 by 15. I guess it's 20 by 15 trees? Maybe that's what that calculation means. The scrolling background is supposed to be aligned with the tiles of the level. Yes, exactly. And it used to be. But we changed all the coordinate systems to be based on tile size. Where tile size is, you're sort of treating it like a meter, something arbitrary. So in the past, we actually had this working, where they were lined up correctly. The background basically just moved perfectly with the player. But here it's clearly moving slightly slower. It's giving this very strange parallax effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, I guess it's literally drawing 15 trees this way and 20 trees this way. That's what scale is doing, which makes sense, I suppose. The background is divisible by 16 into 20 and 15, I guess. So it makes me think that maybe the offset is incorrect. How are we doing that with the tiles? The offset is being created based on this position on screen function. We pass in the tile's position within the chunk, and where the chunk is within the whole map of the world. We're going to say the chunk is here, and then within that chunk the tile is here. And so tile position, chunk position, whole world. Draw it there. And the camera's up there as well. Hey Piachka, nice to see you. Goedemorgen. Goedenavond. Vanavond. Doei. No. Hoe gaat het met jou? Well, I think you were Dutch. Were you not Dutch? In which case, sorry. I thought you might be. Forgot. God, 1 hour 16. YouTube has been forgetting how to run playlists lately. Toho's fucking great. Alright, let's have a look at get position on screen. Why don't you make with all the same level or array that generates the level? Why don't you make with the same level or array that generates the level? So maybe I should give a bit more explanation. Maybe you'd like to see this. We have a level generator. Maybe this will help you imagine this. We have a level generator. It's a randomly generated, it's a procedurally generated game. We have, I can bring up Paint as well, this might help. I can try and explain. The level is generated, literally, by like a little thing going around and placing like floors at arbitrary positions. 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 3 by 5. Like, you know, he's moving around, drawing a little path. Every now and then he spawns a couple floors nearby him. And this is roughly how the world's being generated, right? Every tile is at a position of integer 1, integer 2. When it comes to drawing this, we need to scale it up. We need to draw it as tiles, right? And our tiles are 16 by 16, not 1 by 1, so let's pretend this is 16 times larger, right? Now, each floor, instead of being 1 by 1, is actually a nice little sprite, right? Somewhere within our world, we have a camera, which is viewing a certain space. And while the camera is rendering every tile, it's converting from this very small number, let's say the tile's at 1 by 1, up to a rather big number, let's say 16 by 16. Does that help? I think that's basically the gist of it. So the world is defined in very small steps, very discrete. One by one. Well, I've seen it's a 2D grid, very simple, moving around 1 pixel at a time, one unit at a time. But we convert that when we draw into all these nice tiles, like so. And our current issue is that the tree in the background is actually just rendered as one big rectangle. It's just one rectangle, and we're just tiling this little tree sprite over and over again. And to make it look like the background is moving, we offset this texture by some amount based on where the player is on the screen. So if the player moves to the right, I guess this moves to the left. Yeah, that's correct. But it's infinitely tiling. So the rendering pipeline, as this moves down to the left, it will generate more up here. As it keeps moving, it will generate more. Giving this scrolling effect, basically. But we want these trees to line up with the level. So that's the issue we're having now. I hope that helps. Okay, let's think. Alt to Z, by the way, chat, to enable word wrap, if you're wondering. Does that help a little bit? I should say if the world isn't loaded in... You shouldn't think about the world as being like a big grid of tiles. It's a arbitrary coordinates somewhere in the world. Which makes things a little difficult. That's why we have this strange code here. Because we have chunks like Minecraft. And then within the chunks we have... You can sort of think of it like the grid. Yeah, you got it, okay. Okay, but yeah, my current query is why the background isn't scaling properly. Or while it isn't offset correctly, I should say. The scale's fine. See the trees here in the background? These look like they're the same size as the tiles. But why are they not moving properly? I think the issue here is at texture offset. In the past, this offset was wherever the camera was in the world, divided by the size of the tile, of the texture, I should say. I think. If the texture is 16x16, the offset would be wherever the center of the camera, or wherever the camera is, not the center of the camera, wherever the camera is, divided by 16. I think now, though, we're using the center. I suppose we want to turn that back into offset, which is what we're doing here. It's not just like... I think that would just shift it the other way, right? Changing plus to minus here. Sometimes the level's a bit too big to test. Alright, yeah, I didn't solve diddly shit. I didn't think it would. I was hopeful. I suppose we could... Good idea for fixing the gaps. Let's fix this first. Okay. Thanks. Does the view offset have to be offset by the center? I shouldn't think that would matter. Because it's a tiling texture. Yeah, that doesn't... I think that doesn't matter. Let's quickly go to the level generator and make it only generate like one tile. This will make things a little easier. Or two tiles, whatever. I think we don't need to offset the background by so much. Although maybe that's what solved the weird height, where it was off by 16. You see here, actually, the background's off by half. I think we do need to do this. Hang on, actually. You'll get the issue where it's off by half a tile off on Y, yeah. That's all this does, I guess. I didn't fix it. Did I not save? Let's try again. Failed to save. Hang on, why did you fail to save? Okay, the offset is actually very apparent. This does not fix the offset for some reason. That's concerning. It's the screen size. Oh, hang on, is this correct? Should this be view size? Should this not be... I think this is incorrect. I think tile size minus screen size multiplied by 0.5f. Okay. I might have something called screen half size. I have a screen center. Why not just use screen center, I suppose? Let's just use screen center. That's a handy thing to have. I love Alice's thing, dude. Alright, that didn't... Oh shit. I love it when it spawns a little island. I have a feeling we need to apply this Vec2 afterwards. Wait, why are we dividing you by the texture scale again? It does look like a floating island, yeah. I'm not 100% sure about all these multiplications we're doing. Yeah, that's not right. I guess minus does make more sense. It shouldn't massively matter. Can you undo a bit? Yeah. Well, the game is running. We were something like this earlier. Maybe this is what you're thinking of? The view offset. Remind me why it has to be multiplied by tile size. Is it because the view offset is... it's not turned into a tile yet. The result of getting the view center and running it through get position on screen just gives you the center of the screen though, right? I'm gonna have a play around for a moment. What have we got there? If we go about this properly, we should see how the draw command gets translated to texture coordinates and work backwards from there. That's a good idea. So in draw, you're passing into the... Oh, you just know that. Instance texture offset and scale .xy. Vertex coordinates multiplied by texture and scale ZW, i.e. texture offset plus vertex coordinates texture scale. That That makes sense. So it's where it's sampling the texture from. Scale is applied first, then the offset. Are we doing things in the wrong order? The texture coordinate range is 0 to 1. Okay. Is it? Hang on. Previously, texture offset. Is texture scale truly replacing the get size 2D in this case? Don't move. It's not such an easy drop and replace. I mean, it is. Well, it's not. It's 16 by 15 now, as opposed to. Oh no, it is. This... I think the result of this calculation is the same for psi of the offset as before. No. Well, now I'm looking at it more. I'm getting extra confused because this looks quite similar. The reason we're dividing by get size 2D specifically to get it into the 0 to 1 range. Oh, hang on. Get the floating point size in texels of the 2D image data stored. Is this not a number like 16 and 16? This texture scale was outputting 15 and 20. It's 20 by 15 because it was X and Y. So do we need to modify the scale again by tile size? Does this need to be divided by tile size? That doesn't make sense, because the scale was fine. And maybe divided by tile size needs to be in the texture offset. Yeah, that's not right. Like this. Hey, Horocho. Okay, I mean, we've now successfully made it so the background doesn't actually move. That's a nice attempt. Nice to see you, Horocho. How are you doing? My feet are up on the desk. You can't tell. I'm lying back. Horocho, why isn't my code working? Can you fix it? It might help to do the transformations in Paint. It's at that point. Let's do that. You didn't lubricate it enough. I think Donut solved it, and he's hoping that I can solve it myself and have an aha moment. Looks good to me. Alright, let's ship it. Extra brackets will help. Well, let's use an example then. Can you not see Paint? It doesn't seem to be rendering. Why isn't Paint rendering? Did I already have a Paint window? Oh, I already had a Paint window. Hang on, that's why. This one. So here's Paint. Oh god. Sorry. You can't see that, can you? Sorry that this is so blinding. Alright, here's a brush. Okay. So view size. Maybe I should like take a screenshot of this quickly. I'm sending you my optician's fee, thanks. So view size is going to be 320 by 240 divided by 1 by 1. So this is going to be this. Whatever. Texture scale is going to be 16 by 16. You can see this, right? View offset is going to be the view center. So let's just say that's 0 by 0. Be simple. Well, actually, 0 by 0 might. You haven't solved it because you're afraid that if you think too hard for too long without saying something, you'll cock it up while I'm not looking. Very good. Let's say the view center is 100 by 100. Multiplied by 16 and 16. Minus half of view size. So that is 160 by 120. So that gives us 160 and 160. Minus 160 by 120, which gives us 0 by 40. So now we're drawing... View offset is 0 by 40. And just get rid of all this other shit. Just not confuse us too much. Oh, deleting no longer uses your right-click value. You're upgrading your computer soon. RTX 1050 to a second-hand 3080. Dude, that's banging. That's like a 50 times upgrade. What are you going to be playing on that? You meant drawing the rectangles, but this works too. Okay. So size is, well, screen size, which is... We probably should change this to also be view size. Let's quickly do that before I forget. I think that's correct. Tetris at ultra high, hell yeah. So we're drawing this at 320 by 240. And we're drawing the offset as 0 by 40. Divided by 16 by 16. Divided by 16. Well, I think this last bit's bullshit. So 0 divided by 16. You're never going to guess it. It's 0. So it's 0 by... What's 40 divided by 16? 2.5. And the scale is 16 by 16. This doesn't help me at all. I have no idea what to do with this information. This confused me even more. Why did I do any of that? This doesn't make sense. What graphics API are we working with? Under the hood it's SDL2, but I'm using a wrapper that Donut wrote. Which draws the tries for me. Hello, Void. If you're wondering what issue we're maybe spending too much time solving, we recently changed our coordinate system to be based on tiles instead of just arbitrary coordinates. The arbitrary coordinates are still there, but... Is it OpenGL? Okay, cool. I guess SDL2 is the, well, it's just a library? Graphics library? What would you call that? Windowing and events and stuff. Okay. He's using OpenGL to interface with the GPU, sure. Anyway, we fucked some things up, so now we're having to recalculate a lot of our drawing functions. Most of them have been okay. But this background we're drawing, these trees, it's just one 16 by 16 texture being stretched. So we've got this big texture stretched across the whole screen like this. And we're drawing this 16 by 16 tree tiled across the whole thing. That's working. But when it moves, it should be moving perfectly in sync with the player, whose position is just the center of the screen. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Something is off, but it's only off slightly. I would say that the actual rendering of this tile, the map behind it, so I think you can see this chunk, right? That looks like it's sitting on top of everything, the floor, these other trees, the grass. I think this stuff is moving as intended. Feels correct. But the background behind feels like it's parallax scrolling, almost. I'm trying to work out what's wrong with our maths here. It's this function here. I still really can't work it out. We had it in the past. We were passing in a camera offset, which was calculated based off the player's position and half the screen size. So that should be relatively similar to what we've got now. And I think camera world 2D size was also similar to what we have here. I'm just a little confused. I didn't think this was going to take us 2 hours to do, I'm going to be honest. I kind of thought we'd start on collision detection today, but maybe not. It'd be nice at least to have stuff rendering again. Ugh. The maths looked so simple before. I guess in the past, texture scale and size were really similar. It would have just been that the texture scale was 1/16 of, which I think is still true. 1/16 of is still 15 and 20, which is 1/16 of 240 and 220. I think. I should double check that. 15, yeah. So I think it's the offset. I'm fairly certain the offset is the one that's wrong here. I don't trust this tile size thing that we've added in. Start by going back to the old calculation but replace... Replace size with view size and replace offset with view offset. I mean, we can do that. Let's just save what we've got here. By save, I mean in this literal version of it. Let's just grab this old stuff. No, I don't want to copy the... Hang on, does that could be the old stuff? Yeah. Yeah, we can have a look at that, I guess. Oh, failed to build. What did I do? Extra. I'm not falling back into my chair. You are. Oh wait, hang on, that fixed it. How did that fix it? What the fuck were we doing? What? What was this? What is texture scale? What the fuck? I don't want to think about it anymore. Get out of here. I don't care. I don't care. That's working. Let's generate a giant room again. Alright. Let's look at the jerky motion. Look at that. Wow. Is this the one where... I think I like how this looks. Yeah, you're a trailing comma. We should still have this vertical line issue, right? Where is it? Oh, there it is. I saw it. Does that only happen in motion? Oh, here it is. You know what I could do? It's a little jerky. I can just hold right and then pause. And then hit play over and over again until I see it bricking. Nah, that's never gonna work. I can try and force the vertical line issue. Oops. If I go to like movement system, I can replace like all of this shit with just explicitly setting their position, maybe. Somewhere I can do that. Or maybe the camera in the draw function, I can do that. Or did you wanted me to draw a fucking shader? Like you wanted me to draw a rectangle and then use a shader to draw to it? Is that really the simplest solution? Or did you think of something fancier? What is it exactly? This is a floating point precision error. Sometimes when you're moving around, the camera is like draw tile here, shift a bit, draw tile here, because we're just doing floor. Your idea is as follows: instead of doing get position on screen per tile, only do it for the bottom leftmost tile and calculate the positions by adding a multiple of tile size divided by zoom scale. Oh, how does that work for things in other chunks though? I like that idea. That sounds really smart. So then at least they're all tied together. Although it does mean, I guess, when we'd get, whatever, they'd all move together. Let me have a think for a moment. I like that suggestion. Didn't think about that. How on earth do I get the bottom leftmost position tile? How does this work? Does it have to be bottom leftmost? When we have all these zeros, what does this mean? Because we're iterating starting at position 0. When we have the first one, this is going to be... Well, it's not even necessarily going to be on the screen. This is going to be on in the chunk. Is there... I guess I could reverse get position on screen to get tile position in chunk. Plus chunk offset. Oh, how on earth? Oh, he's done it. Get position on screen. Offset bottom left. What? Oh, it doesn't have to be the position of an actual tile, it has to be the theoretical position where the tile would be, I suppose. Because there might not be a tile, like if we're off the edge of the level, there won't be a tile on the bottom left. Precisely. Alright, let's play around with that. I like the suggestion. So let's say position bottom left tile, bottom left tile position, whatever. Here we've got get position. Let's not get position on screen. It's local player dot get position on screen, bottom left position, and then I guess this gives you a vec2. You're suggesting well, actually, I mean, I think this is fine just being a vec2. I don't think we need to do that double calculation that you showed, do we? You're a vec3. You're a vec2. It can be a vec3. We can just ignore the z. Maybe? Can we just ignore the z? Oh, hang on. Get position on screen. Oh, yeah. Bottom left position's a vec. Oh, hang on. You're a vec3. Get position on screen specifically gives you a vec2, so I guess I need to do this. And then you need to be a vec2. That seems problematic. You defined it recursively. Hang on, I'm confusing myself. Fuck's sake. Guess you're a vec2. Okay, what did you suggest? Add a multiple of tile size divided by zooms. So position on screen is actually, instead of this, I'm going to say auto position on screen equals this. Position in chunk plus chunk offset. Let's just hide this for now. It's going to be this plus this, the offset, right? What did you consider? Add a multiple of tile size divided by zoom scale. So it will be multiplied by how position on, I guess, this old stuff? Maybe this stuff? That's this stuff. And then is position on screen just going to be multiplied by tile position? That doesn't sound right. Somewhere in here we need the tile size as well, right? Divided by zoom scale. Multiple player of so we've got position on screen plus these two things. The top position is this. We want these two added together. You can pre-calculate size on screen outside. Did I not do that here? It's this, I guess. Now you've done a multiply here. If I follow your maths, you'll have calculated tile position minus offset bottom left. Wait, hang on. Why have you... Hang on, this is completely different to the maths I was writing. You're confusing me. Position in chunk plus pop-up plus tile position. Yeah, so that's your position on screen, I guess. Let's just write it in line. We want tile position. No, we don't. Hang on, you're confusing me with your naming. I don't know what position on screen is meant to be. Oh wait, they made the name of the function. So we are using position on screen again. Or you've just accidentally used the same name. You're copying my naming. What's position on screen? What was position on screen, I guess, is a good question. Offset bottom left? What's offset bottom left? What's that? How do these variables accept size on screen before? Size on screen. Sorry, is that not this thing up here? Because this was up here already. I added this earlier. Is that what you mean by that? Let's think about this. Position on screen is the tile position, I thought, multiplied by bottom left position. But that doesn't sound right, actually. That sounds like shit. Tile position is where it is within the whole chunk tile map. Position on screen is the bottom left of the camera, so these are quite distant concepts. You didn't get tile. Do you mean for this offset bottom left thing? You need to, if you're writing code in chat, you need to write the whole line, because that would be assigned to a variable, but I don't know which variable you're assuming I would write it to, and that's causing some confusion. It's a little hard to follow. Okay, it's hard to write as well, so it's this both sides, maybe. Add a multiple of tile size divided by zoom scale. Get position on screen. Bottom left, that's this thing. Position is, so that's down here. Oh, that's very nice. Bottom left tile position, and tile position. Tile position minus offset. I'll have to think about this in a moment. The last plus is at times. Yeah. Now, some of these are upset. Maybe they're vec2s instead of vec3s or something. The tile size scaled, what are you? You're a vec2. You're an ivec3. You're a vec3. These are both ivec3s. Suppose I should make you an ivec3 as well. Make this maths a little easier. Although this whole position thing I think takes a vec2, right? You're a vec2, so maybe I should just crush these down to a vec2. What on earth is the difference between a vec3 int and an ivec3? I can't imagine there's a massive difference. You're an ivec3, you're a vec3, reference. Why is that? That's because chunk iterator. Whatever. Ah, maybe it's you. I guess if I make you an ivec3, that solves some of these things. Position is bottom left tile position. That's we do just truncate that shit. The position on screen isn't being used. That's not useful. That's true. I guess we might as well inline this. That's a mouthful. Alright, we're indeed on the screen. What were we doing here? You think this should solve the vertical line issue, right? Let's explore. It's I just saw it there. So maybe we're missing something. Or maybe I'm having visions. I have a feeling I just saw it, but let's double check. It's worth noting we're doing a truncation of float to int here. Yeah, I think I just saw it again. Yeah, no, it's definitely still there. Let me look at the maths you've written, because I don't fully understand it yet. Yeah, I'm still seeing it. So we're taking... No rounding happening here, there. There is no rounding happening there. Well, here we have an integer. We're turning that into a float. It's possible... Is it possible that the integer can't be represented as a float? Not maybe not at these levels. These are quite small numbers. They should quite cleanly convert, right? Only if it's absolutely huge. Yeah. But is there a chance that like 1 turns into 1.0001? Would that cause rendering errors? I think not. It never goes down, right? It would never be 0.99991, because then that would floor 0. Here, we're taking a... Well, I mean, this is already a flawed value. That's fine. Maybe. I think this is fine. And we're calculating that plus where the tile is in the position. Why minus bottom left? Hang on, how does this work? So this is the tile's position in sort of the map space. And we're minusing... Why do we minus? The offset. Multiplied by the tile size scale. That multiplied by 16 makes sense to me. Although if that happens first, do we not need to... I mean, the position... These are all fine. I want to shuffle them around, but that would be wrong, I guess. Feels weird that we don't apply this scaling last. Minus is to get the coordinate relative to the bottom left. I guess the dot position is where to draw it on the screen, right? That makes sense. You don't want to add it, because then you'd be off screen, I suppose. That makes sense. So we're starting off in the bottom left of the screen. We're adding all these values. Keeping them within the screen. Do we not really need to do this times at the end? I know we don't. This wouldn't solve the rounding issue. It just seems odd to me. I guess it's fine. Is it possible it's a bug in the rendering engine from drawing all these discrete... Your sprites are just 2 triangles, right? Can you tell if get size on screen is the same calculation on... scale? Get size on screen. It's size multiplied by zoom scale. So it's just the size, because there's 1 right now. But sure. I mean, I guess it's the same calculation here. 1 multiplied by 1 divided by 1. Is that correct? That doesn't seem right. Should be 1. Sorry? Not tile size. What are you talking about? What was I passing in before? It would be tile size divided by zoom scale. Zoom scale is 1. 16 divided by 1. Oh. It's 16, right? Hang on. Yeah. The tile is 1 in big world coordinates. Well, this is multiplied by 16 then, isn't it? What do you mean? I know that the tile is... One tile is representing... How do I say that? One real world coordinate is represented by 1/16th... No, sorry. The tile. Sorry. If get size on screen doesn't multiply by tile size, then it's warped. It does. Get size on screen does this. Get position on screen also multiplies by tile size. It doesn't. Doesn't what? Divide. This divides. Tile size scales dividing. Should this not be multiplying as well? Are you manually multiplying the result by tile size in render actor system? Get size on screen. This is what I'm doing. This looks correct, right? Oh no, you're just giving it the collision radius in pixels. Which is correct. This is rendering the collision circle. You want the player, right? That's this stuff. The radius should be specified in tiles as well. You're saying the collision radius is way on? Damn, this is annoying. Divided by 16. 0.18. Well, now they've got a tiny collision hole. Although this isn't being used right now in the section, I guess. Player's tiny now. This feels like a heavy overcomplication. Doesn't it? What we're supposed to be doing is converting from world coordinates to screen coordinates and world coordinates to tiles. Well, this needs a better name then. I hate that this shit doesn't work. Oh, it's like not used anywhere. It does match. Yeah, you're right. I guess it's world size to screen size, maybe? Makes more sense. Yeah. This also means now that our like bullet collision isn't going to work anymore. We have to change that as well. Position on screen could be world to screen coordinates. I like that. Let's use position. Ooh. Whatever. Okay. Fine. I'm guessing the collision system's off now, right? My collision radius probably wants to be using local player, right? I should definitely have like a helper function for getting the local player. Oh, it is my. Hang on. My bad. Feels weird though. I don't know about this. I don't know about this at all. 1D world to screen size doesn't really work. Then why did you make me change my collision radius by 16? Or should I just multiply it in here by tile size? Doesn't that seem odd? You don't have to convert it. Really? It just works? It's just the drawing that's broken? Okay. Test if the zoom function works, and if not, you only have to fix that in one place. Where am I checking? It's local player, it's components. If I change the zoom scale to 2, it should zoom us in twice, right? Oh, I just camera scale, sorry. Getting late. Oh, I just changed. Yep, go on, rebuild all those files. Good morning. Yeah. Nothing says good morning like a 10-hour workday. Alright, this shit ain't working. Changing the zoom scale, there's a lot of places that I think need fixing. Interestingly, the background actually looks half decent. You see like the background trees for when they're rendering. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, it's not changing the by dividing instead of multiplying. Wow, here. Oh, you've got your maths the other way around. Wow. Background does kind of feel like it's scaling okay now though, which is weird. Maybe just because there's no tiles behind it. Why is it only rendering the bottom left of the screen? I have a feeling there's a lot of things that aren't being scaled properly. Let's start here. This be divided? Divided by view zoom scale, so screen divided by 2? I don't think that's correct. We want to zoom it in. Texture scale should be getting multiplied here. The size should still be the size of the screen, right? But we should be doubling the size of the texture. Yeah, we can try them. You offset this. No. It's all fucked up. Even just working out where to draw the fucking mouse. Do I really need this zoom scale thing? This fucks up like a lot of calculations. This is why it helps to test earlier. You could be kinder. I don't want to deal with this right now. It's like 10:30. I'm going to set it back to 1. I particularly want to just solve the background issue today. Oh, that would be nice. Oh no, we did solve the background issue. I have a feeling that there's not going to be a super simple solution to rendering without that weird vertical line. You're never sure you want to zoom in, you can get rid of it. I'll leave it there for now in case I want to spend an afternoon doing that. But that's not right now. We haven't spawned in an enemy in a while. Do you think that shit still works? Where were we doing that before? Entity Factory? One character. But at some point we were like spawning an enemy for like fun, yeah. Oh, I guess the stage system isn't being loaded right now. Because there's no stage. Oh. Did you actually use world to screen size in the end? No. What are we doing? Do you mean instead of this bottom left offset thing? Is this what you mean? Whatever. I mean, that should be the same number, right? Is that your concern that this might not cause rounding for some reason? No, this still happens. I just saw it. It's really annoying that it's so common. I remember zooming specifically. Oh. Okay. Let's try it. I don't know what to do with this. I think part of the issue is that the center of the world doesn't move with the... It doesn't move when we scale. Oh. Drawing a quarter of the background is an easy fix. What are we doing here? You're giving it view size as size instead of screen size. Oh, am I? Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Then all the tiles are being, instead of being drawn shrunk, they're only drawing the top. I guess that looks zoomed in. Why is the player not being increased? Render actor system. Hang on, why is the sprite.scale? Okay, that'll be it. Is that scale? Do you have a size or is scale your size here? I'm guessing you mean scale, right? But no. Well, yes. Scale is times 2, I guess. Oh, this would probably help if I did this properly too. What? I guess that's correct. Right scale times local player dot. I guess. Yeah. So we can calculate this. We can pre-calculate this. Why are you angry at me? We can pre-calculate this. Let's see what happens. Well, the player looks twice as big, and the tiles look twice as big as well. So this scale thing is kind of working. I think the tiles are twice as big. Interestingly, the collision is the same. That's not right. But yeah, I think whatever we're using to whatever we're throwing into this this here is wrong. The tiles need to be separated by this size as well. So is that part of position? I suspect this needs to be multiplied by the zoom scale. So this should be here. So that should solve that. World to screenshot, so that should be multiplying by zoom scale after all. I mean, this looks correct. The XY position is way off. Is it correct? I should definitely take Vec one by one. Yeah. Okay. Give me the size of one tile on the screen. Okay. And this is already including the zoom scale. Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, okay, hang on. Hang on, hang on. Hang on a moment. This is looking pretty nifty. If I go off screen... Oh. The map is off by half? No, it's off by half of half. It's off by a quarter. You see here? I think the calculation that we're using for the map offset also needs to be scaled. If it isn't. So something in here needs to also have that. Maybe Vec2 tile size, I guess. Could also be this thing. What's that? No, that's not it. If you this needs to be divided by that? Alright. Maybe minus Vec2 screen size was correctly minus or more. Okay, hang on, this is not quite right. That's not right either. Hang on, what have I done? I thought the tile size should be adjusted by the zoom scale, but maybe something else should be? Minus Vec2 screen size. It's correct in being minus view size all along. What are you talking about? This stuff? Yeah. How did that look? Already forgotten. This stuff? Hang on. Where did we put the minus view size before? I don't remember. I don't remember where that went in the calculation. It's still off, so this isn't correct. Let's replace Vec2 screen size with view size. Oh. So now that includes the view scale. Yeah. But now we're dividing it by 2. Is that correct? Should we not be multiplying it by 2? No, that works. I don't understand maths. None of this shit makes sense. Well, we need to change the calculation for getting mouse position on screen, I guess. Here it's getting a little confused. That'll be in local player, right? So get mouse position. View size is... What might be wrong here? Hang on a moment. We might have new thoughts. View size is the same. Offset looks the same. Maybe somewhere in here? Maybe this vec tile size? Something in here is missing the multiply or divide by view scale. View zoom scale. View offset is already being modified by the scale. Try changing this part. View size. This part. Now why is that? Just a guess. Yeah. I guess it's a place we are using screen size. Fair guess. Oh, I need to click. Looks good to me, Buster. Yeah, we could make a mouse wheel scroll get tied to changing the scale. Should we just quickly implement that as like a little haha? That could be fun. I think we already have a local player in here, don't we? We could do something really lazy. Oh, hang on. You have a way to just get a key directly, or do I have to tie it to something? Oh, we have these action. Oh, we have scroll up and scroll down. Hang on. Hang on. Scroll up. I guess I'll put it in else if. I don't know how you'd be scrolling up and down at the same time. That would be nice. Let's say just something silly. Zoom scale plus equals. You can just add vectors too, right? What are you by default? A vec2. I don't know what's sensible. Let's just try something. Get relative value. Would this not... This wouldn't do the job? What would this do? Oh, that gives you a value of -1 or +1, does it? Alright. Whatever I did in here is not quite right. So get relative value. You can just pop that straight in here, can you? Does it just interpolate between those two vectors, or whatever these numbers are? It doesn't seem to be doing anything. It's possible scroll up and scroll down isn't actually tied to anything. Where are we tying stuff like move up? Where's this happening? Bindings.json. Here we go. Oh, we don't actually have scroll up and down. Or do we? Is that only on the controller? I have no idea what my controller is. How does this work again? Key return. What's a scroll then? Do we have... Where do these bindings come from? I mean, I can just use W and S for now. Is there like mouse scroll? Input.hpp. Scroll. Mouse scroll up, mouse scroll down. Probably why it didn't work earlier. Oh, that crashed. That was a terrible idea. It's way too quick. Whatever we did there was a terrible idea. I guess it was adding 1 every time, which was probably quite a lot. I would multiply that by like a tiny amount. Something like that. Here we go, yeah. That's a very small scrolling. Does this depend on frame rate? If it's happening in update. I guess not. Kinda handy, you know? I don't know what happens if the number gets too big or too small. Oh shit! Okay, I guess I'm rendering too much at once. That's the issue. The game can't handle rendering this much shit. That's sick. I did destroy the frame rate though. Can I clamp this? I guess. Is there STD clamp? So we just get the relative value. Let's say auto scroll value equals this. It's really fucking cool. Guys, I guess you could have a boss fight, like zoom over to an enemy or something. That could be cool. How does clamp work? Oh, for fuck's sake. I just want to clamp scroll value to like minimum and maximum, -1 and 1. I don't know. That should force it to stay in the middle, right? So if I do -10 and 10. -10, what would that look like? Doesn't make sense. Are you uint? You should be like 1 then. What's wrong? You return 1 value, don't you? You don't have a vec2 override, I guess. You're adding the result now. Yeah. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Why would we do it like this? This isn't... How does clamp work? Does he not take a value? You'd need to add and then clamp. Oh, clamp is after the fact. Clamp doesn't allow you to just insert a number and it will give you the result truncated if or like reduced if necessary. You put the number 1000 into clamp at 100, it doesn't just give you 100. It's an in-place clamp. You're saying to do it like this. Question mark. What do you... Maybe you don't need to assign it. Obviously clamping the amount you're adding versus clamping the final amount is different things. Yeah, my assumption was that you put a number in and it clamps it, and then you use that clamped value. I guess that doesn't really work when you oh, I guess you could make a copy of the current scale, add on the new stuff, and then clamp the result, and then set it to the clamped result. Maybe. Alright. What's wrong? What am I doing? I've completely forgot what I'm doing. I want the scale, and then I want to multiply it by this new scroll value. Can you not multiply a vec2 by a double? I think you can. I think maybe the compiler's just confused. And then I want to do std clamp on this. I'm guessing clamp only takes ints and doubles and floats and stuff, right? You won't have the one for vec2, right? Right. This is how I think this should work, but perhaps this isn't how the API works. Sorry. What are you? You're a vec2. You're a floating point vector. Why can you not be multiplied by a double? Do I have to say that you're a... turn you into a float? Construct a float with this double, maybe? Oh god. Fine. What have you sent me here? Yeah, good tune. Why is it so unhappy about multiplying this number? Because you're doing this? Yeah. What was I doing? Oh, we were clamping the zoom. I guess this is a 10x zoom. Kind of crazy how well it works. You can actually force the line a little better with this, because we have discrete. Hang on, look, here we go, got a line. Let me pause there and have a look at it. I've managed to capture a line. Where could I put a breakpoint to inspect this? Oh, in full screen it goes away. Yeah, it's definitely a floating point precision error then. Gentlemen, we got him. I should put a breakpoint somewhere. Let's chuck it in the render gameplay background, maybe. So... the tile scale... these numbers are all a little off because we're zoomed in strangely, right? I don't really know how easily I can do this. Do you think if we switched from floats to doubles it would help? Or do you think that extra precision is lost here? If you did the pixel shader thing, the zoomed out performance would be better. That's true. So instead of rendering a trillion tiles, it would just render the one. How much of a hassle do you think it is to do that? I wouldn't mind messing around with shaders a bit more. We already have that shader that samples a texture, like the picture of the carpet. How hard is it to... it feels like it should be quite difficult, right? Because we don't have tiles in like a discrete array, we have it in this strange format. Would we have to collect everything into like a set of arrays just to draw them to the screen easier? What can I do with this information, by the way? Now I've caught a wobbly. I don't know if there's much I can do with it. What can I do? Like, I've caught this guy. Mogo-chan, we're gonna have to kill this guy. He's quite easy to find, actually. Interesting how it renders. It just doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't happen in full screen. Like, it doesn't appear up here, really. It looks behind. Like, it's not drawing a black line. It's drawing something. What is it drawing? Is it a perfect line? Definitely based on the text. It's strange. There's a line here. Either side of this is a like light green tiles and dark green tiles, yet in the middle, the wobbler has like it cuts in half here, like it's trying to draw something else underneath. Now, if we were rendering something with a floating point error, why would we see some of these things? Like, why in here, for example? Why is there exactly 1 pixel's worth of light, like light brown? You see this? Maybe I'll try and capture it. We can inspect this wobbler. I'm going to close the app. Here's the wobbler. I could maybe stretch him out so he's a little easier to see. I can't see shit. This is how the wobbler looks. He renders precisely at these strange borders. You see this? What's the meaning of this? Why does he do this? Where are these colours coming from? These colours aren't used in our tile set. How is it inventing these? Is every tile texture singular? Are you using an atlas? I'm using an atlas. Yes. We're quite certain that this is a floating point precision error with... I suppose, is it with the camera? Isn't the texture to tile left or right, maybe? Also, hello, Blue. Blue Spider. Maybe I can try and show you. Hang on a moment. I just wanted to quickly speed up this zooming thing and maybe let it so you can scroll out a bit more. Let's say... Oh, actually, whatever this one was here was fine. I just wanted this to build up faster. Man, it's cool being able to zoom. This was well worth all the hassle, huh? Oh, that's interesting. The hitbox is not scaling properly for these bullets. The debug hitbox. Do you see this? I need to fix that. There's a single pixel dot in the center of the circle. What am I doing? Oh, render like the debug overlay. What was it? HUD. Here we go. Well, the screen size. Oh, whoops. Oh, we're already using the position thing. Alright, that fixes that one small issue. The texture coordinates are bleeding over from tiles to other tiles. That's possible. Look at this, though. You can see the whole world. This is clearly not working intentionally. Hang on, what did I just do? Oh, I just put it in the origin. That's stupid. The crux is the vertex shader calculates different coordinates for the left edge of the vertices of the left tile and the left edge vertices of the right tile. Oh, different. Oh, yeah. So they're not connected properly. They're not. It's not like there's a seam basically. Check this shit out. Okay, that's not. It's not 100% correct. Hang on. That's not it. Why is that so off? We were rendering this earlier for something else, right? In Actor. Hang on, why is this so shit? By the radius by 6. You might be right on that. Character.json. Why is that decided? Oh, we're just hard-coding 2. Found you. Why is that? Oh, we should extract this. To do extract bullet radius to config. That shouldn't be in here. That's bad. Alright, 5 divided by 16 is 0.31-ish. That's not right, is it? Yeah, actually 5, 0.3. Or 0.25, of course. You know what, we've got our own discrete actions here. Let's just do 0.2 and 0.15. I don't know if that F is really doing much for us here. What do we think's going on here then? Is it possible that whatever we're passing into the vertex shader is... Vertex shader ends up calculating different coordinates for the right edge of the left tile and the left edge of the right tile. Because ideally they should stitch them together, right? Oh god. Like the coordinate here, along this line. So if we split our screen into tiles like this, well, actually like this. Come on now. When did Windows add diagonals? This is brand new. So clearly, it's actually really weird that we don't seem to get them vertically, right? We only get them... We don't get vertical horizontal lines. We only ever get vertical lines, right? Am I correct on that? I feel like we only ever see them vertical lines, so on the X... Well, it's on the Y. You know what I mean? We only ever see this issue. It could be possible that one column of tiles ends up being 1 pixel wider than usual with the texture coordinates don't properly scale with it. Yeah. And it is 1 pixel. Even when we zoom all the way in and we go into full screen, it is 1 pixel, right? Specifically a pixel. But why do we never see horizontal lines? What is it? What is it about what we're doing here that's saying, oh yeah, the edge of this tile is at screen pixel 1000, but actually I start at 1001. Not, it should be 1000, right? That's there. It's actually rounding itself to 1001, and that's why we're getting this weird, I guess it's just overdrawing or something. I don't know what it's doing there. I don't know why it's drawing this particular pattern. Maybe it's picking something at random. Why has something to do with screen height being different from screen height? Do you reckon if it was a square, we wouldn't have this issue? Is there some scaling going on, or some issue going on with how we're scaling the screen? Or the camera? Are they not truly divisible by 16, or there's some problem like that? I think it's because of the zoom. Oh no, we were getting this issue before zoom, when the offset was just 1. We were getting that issue. I wonder if we get it if we zoomed all the way out. I feel like it'd be really hard to see. The zoom just made it a little easier to see, that's all. Hang on, there it was. I just zoom in and out in like a random spot and we'll find it. It's funny how it zooms out so fucking quick towards the end. Oh. Oh, here it is. Here's one. So I'm in full screen, right? 1440p. And there is precisely a 1 pixel line here. What you're seeing in OBS is it's squished a bit. This is exactly 1 pixel. Yeah, it is actually exponential. Like here it is really exponential. There's another one. They're quite easy to find, relatively. Oh, there's loads of them when you look. When you zoom this far out, it's super common. I think when it's this far out, it's really hard to see. I think I did see one just now. Man, the procedural generation looks great. Why are you so fucked up? Hang on, I need to fix this. This is stupid. This is such a stupid way to do this. Oh, should have fixed this a while ago. Really quite stupid. I mean, it was a little hacky thing we did at the start anyway, wasn't it? It does look great. The bullets or the zoom? I would agree that the zoom's nice. It's definitely not unstupid. Somehow the radius is huge. Maybe that's just how big the bullet is. I don't think that's how big the bullet is. Why did dividing it by 16 actually multiply it? Hang on a moment. If I get rid of the debug menu, maybe the bullet's normal now. There's no bullet. There are some topics on avoid texture blending in a sprite sheet, and it looks exactly like that. Texture bleeding. Oh yeah. Hang on, I want to see this. Why is the collision radius so shit? What's the value actually? Why is it 3? Who's making you? Am I just hard coding it as 3? I probably am, aren't I? Bullet to fired up because bullet collision. Where are you coming from? Ah, found you. Ah, this is terrible. None of this matters. Don't tell anyone I said that. Avoid bleeding on a sprite sheet. Oh, collision radius 3. No, hang on a moment. Why are you 3? I understand that the game's covering the screen. Where's bullets to fire coming from? Ah, this... It's just a 3. Oh. I don't know. 0.3F. We should definitely fix this shit. Alright, now it's 0.3. I mean, I don't actually think this is good. Oh, it works. It rounds 0.3 to 0.3 enough. Yeah, look at that. I've given the player smaller bullets, don't tell anyone. The sprite doesn't actually line up anymore, I guess. Oh, hang on, I just had a whole line of them there. Alright. There's some topics on how to avoid texture bleeding in a sprite sheet. Let's have a look. I just googled this shit. getting pretty late. I might actually stop in a moment. This will go on too long. I'm not a robot, I think. Google's been thinking I'm a robot forever. Some sprites that share a sprite sheet are bleeding into one another. Why? Yeah. Looks really similar. You double check the sprite atlas sort code in this version and it uses a hardcode padding of 6 pixels around. It should theoretically only bleed back pixels. It is strange that it's bleeding purple or like brown ones. Sampler state to point clamp. You can add a 1 pixel transparent border around each sprite. Texture bleeding. It happens in a scaled viewport matrix, which we are using. It is scaled. Even at 1x, it's still not drawing. We're still actually scaling the game up a little bit. Clamp mode or sampling mode are wrong. Doesn't solve the issue. It's to put transparent padding around. When you're saying that you have hard-coded padding, is it explicitly black pixels? Pixel offset. This might be an engine issue then. Yeah, I'm seeing like posts that look really similar to what we've got here. It's color invisible, which is technically black but with alpha 0. I turn on the mip map and use nearest instead of linear. It actually removes, but everything looks quite jagged. Using texel fetch. So this is OpenGL. Using texel fetch with pixel perfect coordinates, I get this result. Did you see this Reddit post? Use mip maps. Should I be using mip maps? I thought mip maps would make everything look like shit. I guess it would maybe solve the issue, but I like the nearest neighbor style. Actually, mip mapping's normally for sheer angles, right? I'm thinking of a bilinear filter, or does applying mip mapping in OpenGL resemble bilinear filtering? I don't want that like kind of blurry look. I think. Pixel fetch skips all of this and gives you original values. Always use 32-bit floats. Blah 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 blah. Right. I think it's fair to stop here. Otherwise it's gonna get late. I have work tomorrow. Linear filtering shouldn't kick in at 1:1 scale, but maybe you can try enabling it. Hang on. What's that? Game? Where were we enabling this stuff? Main? Right, Atlas options. Oh. Maybe whatever animation repository. Also the background texture. Maybe systems manager. Alright, well, whatever. I'm gonna stop here. It's gonna get too late. It's 11:15. Right. But here. What is it? Dot use. Is that correct? Extra curly braces, I guess construct some options struct. That's amazing. Somehow by enabling linear filtering, we have nothing but problems. I think... Oh, it's like super obvious as well. Are you certain this isn't just like a rendering, or like an issue in the engine? Yeah, the background doesn't have it because the background isn't using linear filtering. Obviously, this isn't the same issue that we're seeing, but it does... Like, if there's an 8-pixel border between everything, or an 8-pixel padding, why would we see, like, whatever the fuck this is? Oh, you know what? I guess the significance of the colors is that it's showing you the next tile in the atlas, right? Not the next tile in the level. That makes some sense. I guess above the grass tiles... Let's turn that shit off. Take me to, what is it called, GSC. So just above the leaf. I don't know which ones I'm using. This one. I'm guessing that it's showing like a bit of this cave or something. You can always write an identical pixel shader to the default shader except using texel fetch if you think that'll help. I could try that. That's what the Reddit post was recommending, right? Is that basically just looking at the donut source code for whatever the default shader looks like? What do you think? Should be in shader 2D. Oh. 2D, and then I get rid of this. Well, that's not helpful. Here it is. So, it's this, is it? Oh, is the shader just written in C++? Or in a C++ file? I see that you've done this. Yeah. But you don't have it in like a separate GLSL file. So is it maybe this one? And is the idea that instead of using fragment shader source code plane as the one. So is the idea with this, and instead of sampling 2D using the sampler 2D, you use the texel fetch? Is that the idea? Question mark? I don't know this very well. Instead of the texture call. Oh, is it literally just texel fetch? Alright. I have to go. I can't keep delaying the end of the stream. We'll continue this another time. I'll write a to-do somewhere. Get rid of some of this. Alright, so I'll just write this in here for now. I do have a nice snooze, yeah. That's a good place to stop for today, I think, chat. Did you enjoy the stream? I think we made some tremendous progress. Thanks for the help. We have a lot of stuff working that wasn't working before, right? So things are rendering normal again, mostly as they were. Yep. I think this Bullet thing is not quite working right. The calculation for the radius is a little off. I should write a button like F2 or something that lets you show and disable the debug. Oops. Write a keybind to enable, disable, debug. Fix collision, debug circles for bullet sizes. Extract bullet sizes to a config. Okay. If all else fails, the custom tile shader sounds like a cool idea. I mean, this is a pretty trivial. If it's just the case of loading a different shader somewhere, I'm guessing in the draw call, like we're doing for the main menu background, we just write it in the header file somewhere and just use it. Yes, or somewhere. I mean, we can also do what we do with the menu and have it in its own file. I don't know. I don't know if it matters. Is it just as simple as replacing that one call with another and just seeing if it works? And if it works, great. Problem solved. The advanced one that would read tile data directly. Yeah, but that's an optimization detail, right? If the problem's solved by this, then that's good enough for now. We can move on with other things. It's all well and good having a very nicely rendered map, but if there isn't a game to play, why are we doing any of it? We have to do content. I want to do collision detection and enemy generation and stuff. It'd be cool if you could zoom out super far and see a huge world. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd leave that in the actual game though, but it's cool if you had the ability to, especially as a developer. Take a screenshot of the world or something. It kind of reminds me of the Super Nintendo, like Mode 7, where you have like all those effects for using the map out. And... Anyway, I'm stopping. Think about what you've done. Consider a custom tile shader that just draws one rectangle to screen and samples tiles from that data. Cool. Good night. Good work. See you soon. Bye bye.